anybody actually like watch this? I mean, like the beginning of it. Does anyone actually care about this? Because like it's something that happened by accident. Like I kind of recorded something and thought, hey, it'll be funny to like sneak this in before the show starts, and that kind of became a recurring thing. And I thought like, oh, that's a good thing to have. Just have me randomly talking about whatever before the intro. Just stick whatever footage I can find in there, and then just. But does anyone actually give it down? Does it make it better? Does it make it worse? I don't know. Should I keep this thing or should I just keep? Greetings and welcome to the Fan Perspective. I'm your host Nathan Lyle, and this is WNBA Weekly, and we've only got a few weeks left in the season. It's almost over. It's August right now. All the teams have like 4 or 5 games left to play on the season. And yet, as of going to sleep last night, we still don't have any Eastern Conference teams that have clinched a playoff berth. I'm guessing Atlanta, since they've got like a 4-game lead on that first place, is probably just needs one more win to officially clinch. I mean, apparently there's still a statistical possibility that they couldn't get in. Apparently, that there is still a possibility that they could just straight up lose every game from here to the end of the season, and that they would find themselves out of the playoffs. I highly doubt that will happen though. But still, it irks me because you've got 2 teams in the Western Conference that have 20+ wins and have already clinched. And then you've got 2 other teams in the Western Conference that they just keep losing too much. And so even though they're not officially out of the race, they're just too far behind to make it that ground. Yet in the Eastern Conference, you got like, I think 3 games now separating 6 from 2. So Connecticut could still go on a winning streak, find themselves in the playoffs. And Atlanta apparently is still capable of going on a long losing streak and getting knocked out of the playoffs. So on Monday, that's right, we actually had a game on Monday. The Fever had 4 players in double figures, led by 16 from Catchings and a double-double from Larkins. But with Parker sitting out, the Sparks had 4 players in double figures, led by Nneka with 23 points, and LA actually wins a game at home. I can't remember the last time that happened. Then on Tuesday, the Sun had 4 players in double figures, led by Kelsey Bone, 18 points, 13 rebounds. But the Dream also had 4 players in double figures, led by 25 from McCoughtry. Lyttle was 1 point short of a double-double. Atlanta gets their first win since before the All-Star game. Then the Mystics had 4 players in double figures, led by Kia Vaughn with 12 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists. But the Liberty also had 4 players in double figures, led by 23 points, 12 rebounds from Charles, and they hang on to win it in overtime. Then the Sky, they have 3 players in double figures, led by 23 from Prince. But the Stars have 5 players in double figures, led by 16 from McBride, and San Antonio grabs a win. Then the Storm, they had 4 players in double figures, led by 15 from Bird, but the Shock also had 4 players in double figures. They got 21 from Diggins. Glory Johnson had a double-double, and the Shock and their Storm, their 7th straight loss. That's a lot. The most they've had in the Brian Agler era, at least. And then Candace Parker, she sat out another game, and in her absence, Nneka once again led the team. 18 points, 9 rebounds, but the Mercury had 5 players in double figures, led by 17 from Taurasi. Phoenix wins their 16th straight game, and in sole possession of the 2nd best ever winning streak in league history, 2 away from breaking the record. And then on Thursday, they played against the Lynx at home, 100% healthy. And so the Mercury, despite the fact that all 5 of their starters were in double figures, led by an 18-point game from Grinder and a double-double from Dupree, the Lynx had 4 players in double figures, led by 20 points and 9 rebounds from Moore, a double-double from Brunson. Minnesota is able to get their 8th straight win and end the Mercury's winning streak at 16. Hey, 16 may not be the record, but it's still pretty damn good. Then the Liberty, they had 4 players in double figures, led by 15 points, 14 rebounds from Tina Charles. But the Sky had 5 players scoring in double figures, including the return of Elena Delle Donne, playing in her first game since, May? No, I think like early July. And she only played 10 minutes, but she got 10 points. And Sylvia Fowles led the team 16 points and 14 rebounds. The Sky grab a solid win, and with that, they are now only half a game behind New York for that 4th playoff spot. Then the Shock had 3 players in double figures, led by 22 points from Sims. It was volume walk though. She was only 8 of 21 from the field, not necessarily a high percentage. For players taking 21 shots, I'm kind of hoping they put up 30 or 40 points. So Sims has 22 points, Gloria Johnson was 1 rebound short of a double-double, but Tiffany Hayes led the Dream with 27 points, D'Souza added a double-double, the Dream grab a win. Angel McCoughtry had 21 points, but she also had 11 turnovers, and that number is too damn high! 11 turnovers, that has got to be some sort of record. In all the times that I've been watching WNBA, I've never seen anyone to get double-digit turnovers in one game. There may be times when it seems like I'm a little harder on Angel than I am on other players in the league, but god damn it, 11 fucking turnovers, what the hell? Then for the Storm, Strickland led the way with 20 points, but the Fever had 5 players in double figures. Tamika Catchings tied to lead the team with 16 points, and in doing so, she also passes Katie Smith for 3rd place on the all-time scoring list. And the Seattle Storm have now lost 7 in a row. So after all that, here are the current standings. Looking at the schedule, it seems like the league is going to start slowing to a halt pretty soon. So on Friday, you've only got one game. It's Connecticut at San Antonio. That's going to be on NBA TV at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And San Antonio is all but guaranteed a playoff spot, but they won't be resting on their laurels. Connecticut, they're desperate for wins, and they want to try to keep their very slim playoff hopes alive. Still 3-11 on the road. Then on Saturday, you've got Minnesota at Tulsa at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Minnesota still has a good shot of finishing with that #1 seed, and I expect them to keep fighting for it, while Tulsa still has a shot of not finishing dead last in the league. Then you've got Indiana at Phoenix at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Phoenix won't break the record, but the Lynx are still breathing down their necks, so if they want to hang on to that #1 spot, they're still going to try to grab another win or two if they can. Indiana, they're in the Eastern Conference, 1 or 2 losses, they could end up being out of the playoffs. They don't really want that. Then on Sunday, you've got New York at Atlanta at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In New York, they're on a bubble. They're only half a game in front of 5th place Chicago for that last playoff spot. They really can't afford losses right now. But they're 3-10 on the road, and they're facing a team that's 11-3 at home. Then you got Connecticut at Los Angeles, and if LA can piece a few wins together, they can rise up to 3rd place. But the possibility still exists that they can lose a lot of games and potentially end up out of the playoffs altogether. I doubt that'll happen, but the Sparks, they're almost as good at home as Connecticut is on the road. So everything's kind of up in the air right now. I also forgot to mention that game is going to be on NBA TV at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then you've got Washington at Chicago on NBA TV at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Atlanta Deladon is back. The Sky are currently only half a game out of the playoffs, and I think they have a good shot of fighting back in, but they have to keep winning. Then you got San Antonio at Seattle on NBA TV at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I personally think Seattle should just cut their losses, call it a season. Just be like, no, let's just go home, get their #1 overall pick, and try again next year. Well, that's it for this edition of WNBA Weekly. Tune in on Monday for another all-new episode. But until then, I'm your host, Nneka. This has been the Fan Perspective. Have a great weekend.